Hi, my name's Adrian White, and today I'm going to be doing a video that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now. I've been working really hard on bebop stuff, and the demonstration I did there hopefully shows that. Took me quite a few goes to get anything right. Been having one of those days, but you know what? This is about you, not me. So yes, I'm not going to dwell on my playing. Well, actually, here's one thing about bebop you should know. If you're going to be improvising, you gotta go for it, and you can't think too much. So there needs to be a lot of practice done. So the point of today's video is to tell you what you need to be practicing. The first thing I want to tell you is, if you check out Charlie Parker and you check out a lot of these guys, there's a lot of stuff happening that is just major scales. It's just simple major scales. So step one, simplify your progression. The chord progression I was playing over was from Improvise. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Someone can correct me. It's a Charlie Parker song. We all know Charlie Parker. If you don't know who Charlie Parker is, go away and listen to Charlie Parker. He's influenced heaps of guys. And anyway, I'm going to get to the point. So the chords that I was thinking were basically like this. So one bar of F major 7. G minor, C7, F major 7, G minor, C7, F augmented, then it changes to B flat, then to E flat, then back to F major, then A minor, D7, G minor, C7, F major 7, D7, G minor, C7, back to F, and we start again. And you're thinking, oh my god, great lesson. I quit. I don't want to know about it. It's really hard. And it is a little bit like that because it can be a little bit full on. But my first tip is simplify. Let's think of these chords. You would have noticed I didn't have a backing track, and I think that's actually a very useful. It's actually a good thing if you can play over these charts and practice them without any kind of backing track. You want to do it with, but if you can do it without, you're going to have a very much stronger command of playing over the changes. So. Without further ado, let's talk about simplifying. So the first thing that I do is I take that progression and I just try to think of it a little bit in a more simple sense. I would be thinking of F major 7, G minor, and C7, all the same so far. First thing you might do if you're really struggling is do this: F major 7. Just think C7. All right, and that doesn't mean that the chords are now playing C7. You're just imagining C7 when you're improvising. So straight away, we've taken out one chord. You just got to learn to play over an F major 7 and over a C7, which for both you can just play F major and it will work fine. Then the next two bars. Okay, now all of these chords are basically just a circular way of setting up the F augmented, which sets up the B flat, right? Creates tension. So basically, let's forget about all of those chords except the F major and the F augmented. Let's just think about that. So if we're improvising there, okay, just F major and grab that C sharp. Little bit of chromaticism in there. All of those things with those licks and that will come from learning some solos by the players and using your ear as well. They're really a lot of it's just major scales, just very cleverly used. Anyway, continuing on, the next step is so let me actually talk about that C sharp, and what I'm getting at here is so that whole first line will go something like this now in your head. Okay, much easier to improvise over. You can do the whole thing in F major and just grab that C sharp, and suddenly you sound like you know what you're doing, which you do if that's what you did. So for example, oh, very cool, very bebop. That note says you know where you are and sets up the B flat, and that's quite useful. As far as learning and knowing where you are in the chords, you have to listen and you have to practice and practice and practice. Listen to the song, practice the chords, practice your changes. Eventually, you'll be able to feel it. Okay, so That takes us to the next section, the B flat. We've changed to B flat. Now I'm thinking of the key B flat. A lot of guys like Joe Pass, for example, say that the only real change, one of the only main changes in key is the 4, for example. I think there's a bit more detail than that, but all of these other chords that you play are so strongly related to the F that you can really just get away with playing. You take your tonic, take the key of the song. So this is in the key of F, by the way. Should have said that. And you just play an F, and it will generally work quite well. The B flat, in my mind, is a bit of a key change. I think it's so strong. So at this point, I'm thinking B flat. Well, actually, I'm thinking B flat mixolydian, which I'm not really thinking B flat mixolydian. I'm thinking B flat. All right, but we're playing a dominant 7, so I'll just look for that flat 7. Now, really simple. Play in B flat at this point, and then when we hit the E flat, again, just like with the F augmented, look for the key. Not key change, I don't want to confuse you. Look for the main note that stands out in that chord at that point. So we can noodle along in B flat. And then in the E flat chord, the note that sticks out to me is that the 6th fret there, the D flat. And when we do that, from the perspective of the B flat, because for these 2 bars, I'm just thinking B flat. I'm not really thinking too hard about the E flat. It actually creates a B flat minor. Okay, if you don't understand that, just I guess stick to focusing on pulling it out of the chord, because you can get by to some degree. I mean, it helps to have a teacher and know your stuff. But anyway, so I'm thinking B flat, and then I'm thinking B flat minor. Okay, so very simple. Play a major scale, play a minor scale. Okay, if you can't do those things, probably not the video for you, to be honest. But anyway, moving along, and I don't mean not the video for you later on. I mean probably go away and learn some basics first. So we're up to the next line. We're back to F major. So far we've only been thinking F major, and playing over the C7 maybe, and catching that. Any notes that stick out, look for them, find them in the chords, find them on the fretboard and make them work amongst your major scale. It's very simple. So we're back to F major, so you can be noodling away in F major. And then we get to this. This is very significant, this part. Okay, so we've got A minor and D7. So let me play it. Okay, let's look at this section. So the A minor and the D7 represents a very key jazz, the thing that almost is what jazz is all about or built around is the 2-5-1. I don't specifically practice 2-5-1s. I just practice outlining chords and practice improvising over charts and looking for notes and all that kind of thing. And you will get heaps of practice playing 2-5-1s. Just doing it that way. I don't specifically practice 2-5-1s, in all honesty. And if you learn solos by Charlie Parker or Tal Farlow or anyone you can, you will be learning 2-5-1s a lot. You'll be doing them all the time, etc. They're just part of it. So it's good to be aware of it, but I don't think it's entirely essential personally. First, I want to talk about, instead of worrying about the A minor, I just think D7 at this point. Okay, so I'm thinking this. I'm not really thinking about the A minor. So another tip, anytime you get these 2-5-1s, which I should go into more detail about what they are, but I would research that separately, because it probably helps a little bit if you already know something about these things. But basically, whenever you see a 2-5-1, I just concentrate on the 5, not the 2. The 5 is where it's all at. So as soon as it hits this point, I'm just thinking D7. Alright, and then from there, it goes to G minor. Let me just open this up. And, sorry, screen went black. Damn you, Mac. Okay, so we're sitting on G minor, and we go to C7, and we're back to F major. All through that part, you can be thinking F major. It's no problem at all. And then we get to the turnaround at the end. F, D7, G minor, C7. Now, over the 6 here, you're probably thinking, oh, you can't play F major over that. That's a D7. Actually, I don't pay too much attention to the 6. Whenever we play a 6 as a dominant 7, I tend to just be thinking F major, because it's the notes against that D7. It's the tension that the D7 creates against an F key that makes it really cool. So I just stay in F. Let the chord create the tension. So again, the simplification of that would be that I'm just thinking, and even here when we go G minor and C7, I'm basically just thinking. Alright, so let's run through our simplified chart. F major 7, C7, back to F major 7, F augmented, B flat. It's just a blues really. B flat minor, and back to F major, D7, C7. Well, in all fairness, we might sit on that G minor for a little bit. G minor, 7, C7, F major, C7. Alright, so let's put that up right here. So you're probably having a look at that, the notes there, and seeing how we've simplified that chart. Just for our brain. We play the chords, play all the cool chords. That's what makes it fun, but just simplify it for your brain for improvising purposes. Okay. Now that you've seen one trick of getting around a tricky chord progression, and seeing that you can get away with not being overly complex and still sound really cool, just by outlining by nailing particular notes out of those chords. You can go into more detail and look at all the other chords and find take the progression as it is without simplifying it, and look for notes out of those. But generally, they're the cool chords. They're the cool kids as far as the tones go in those progressions, and I think they're what make jazz really cool. So I actually wrote some notes here for where I wanted to go with this. So part 2.